Good afternoon, guys. It is September 29th, 2025. On this video here, I want to talk about um, our GE top load washing machine. This is the model number here, GTW 465ASN9WW. I did some video on it when we first got it, almost 2 years ago now. In January it'll be 2 years. And kind of thought it was okay, and then we had a slight issue with it, and I was not happy. I was just like, oh my gosh, this thing is gonna be a piece of crap. It's gonna fall apart on us. We're gonna have issues. If we're already having issues now, 4 months into it. Because, I mean, let's face it, appliances are not made the way they used to be. There's a bunch of this stupid electronic crap in them now that we do not need. Where, we have all this mechanical stuff in dryers, thankfully. Still, but I mean, why can't we do that with washing machines? It makes no sense. So basically what it was, and it took me a while to get another video of this to update you, but what it was it was a faulty lid latch switch, which honestly, I hate these things. I do not like them. Yeah, I mean, it just shows where our society is gone. It's like, well, we've got to be extremely safe. If there's anything even slightly dangerous, that's just opening a door to a lawsuit. But anyway, enough of my whining about that. All of that aside, I mean, yes, there's slight annoyances, but generally, overall, aside from that one fluke 4 months in, we're coming up on 2 years in January. And so far, I've been fairly impressed with this machine. Now, don't get me wrong, I still love our old one a lot more than this. I just think old is gold, honestly. I mean, when you look back at the way things were made back in the day, it's really hard to beat them. I mean, it just is. But this is a good machine. If you're replacing an older top load machine and you want to go with something new, and you want the old school type of washing machine, this is pretty darn close to as good as you're gonna get for the money. Now, this was, I believe it was around $550 before taxes. Now, we got the matching dryer as well, so yeah, so it was about $550 each, or 500, I can't remember exactly, but it was somewhere in the 500 range. So it was like 1,200, 1,300 for the set. So, I mean, considering what a lot of them cost now, I think you can't go wrong with this. There's a lot of them that are just very lousy. They have the wash plate rather than this agitator here, which makes no sense to me. I mean, I'm sorry, but it makes no sense. I mean, a top-load washing machine must have an agitator. This is just my opinion. A wash plate doesn't do anything. I don't care what you have to say. I've seen plenty of machines with the wash plate and plenty of reviews on that. They don't do squat. They barely move the clothes. They barely get the clothes wet. And it's just crazy. Now, this washing machine actually does fill up the tub. I think the most it can fill is up to here, where my hand is. So you're not going to get all the way to the top. But it does submerge the clothes, and it does do a good job of turning over the clothes. This is a spiral agitator here. So you basically get the full effect. This basically is almost like those old Kenmore Whirlpool washing machines that had the spiral agitator there. Those are arguably pretty hard to beat as far as, agitator design. But, in recent years, a lot of other manufacturers have adopted this feature. Now, I have had very good success with this machine. It seems to do very, very well. I mean, we're a household of 4, and we do quite a bit of laundry. I mean, we don't do tons, but, 4 people in a household, that's easily at least, 2 or 3 loads per person. And so really does handle quite a bit. Now, we don't overfill it or stuff it, but we do our laundry individually, and we just spread it out throughout the week. And so now, in terms of the actual cleaning and stuff, I personally have never had an issue with my clothes not coming out clean. Because like I said, this actually does submerge your clothes. No, it doesn't fill the tub entirely, but it fills it, pretty deep. And if you needed extra water, there is this button that's called Deep Fill, and you can press that, and it adds more to it. And so that's just something to be aware. Now, this model in particular, a lot of them are more basic than this, but this one has an auto soak feature that goes anywhere from 15 minutes all the way up to 2 hours. And basically what that'll do is it just sets a timer wherever you set it. It'll agitate a little bit, and then it'll just sit for, the 15, 30 minutes, hour, however long, before it continues and resumes agitating. So if you had heavily soiled laundry or something that needed to soak, that's a good feature to have. I personally have not really used this all that much. I did use the 15-minute soak feature on one load one time, but for me personally, I don't have a whole lot of soil issues with my clothes. So, I mean, my clothes are generally clean for the most part. I mean, I don't get them really dirty, so I don't need this. You also have an option for a second rinse. Now, one thing to note with this washing machine, during the rinse cycle, it doesn't necessarily, fill the tub again and do another agitating cycle. What it does when it's in the rinse cycle is it basically is spinning, and then it just shoots water, out the port here, and basically just sprays the clothes as it's spinning, and that's its rinse cycle. It's a default rinse cycle. If you do want it to rinse with agitating, switch it to second rinse, and that will fill the tub up a second time, agitate it a second time, and things like that. I am not exactly sure. Extra spin, it's probably more. Second rinse plus extra spin. Deep rinse, I'm not sure exactly what that means, but it says select when adding fabric softener. There's a plus second rinse. So I don't know exactly all of these. Now, I do not use liquid fabric softener. That is something that I just don't prefer. And plus, it tends to gum up your machine, so I don't tend to prefer it. I tend to like to use, a higher quality laundry detergent such as Gain or something like that. Because here's a fact. The higher quality laundry detergent you use, the less of other additives you have to use. So, and that goes for fabric softener, dryer sheets, boosters, all this other stuff. If you just stick to a good quality detergent, then you're not going to need that other stuff. It's going to save you money, and it's going to save wear and tear on your machine. Because believe it or not, the fabric softener can get all fatty and, clump and clog your machine. And that's still the case if you use too much detergent. You gotta be sparing on your detergent. And let me show you on a measuring cup how much you should be using. So, when it comes to detergent, you want to use as little as possible. I would say on this cup, for a large load, and I'm saying like a really large load, I would not go past this number 3 line. There's just no need to. It's, you really only need like this much for an entire load, and it does work. I have done it for years, and it works fine. The more detergent you use, the less clean your clothes are going to be. I know that's very counterintuitive, and people don't believe that, but it's true. The more detergent that is left in your clothes, the more residue is left, and then it just attracts more dirt, more odors. It is not a good situation. So less is more with detergent, and especially higher quality detergent like Tide, Gain, whatever. But really any detergent, you really want to make sure you're not using too much. That's very important. So yeah, and then, the scent beads, that's the other thing. I know a lot of people like those. I've never used those before, and I never will in my laundry. Never. Because, again, it's a waxy product, and it can gum up your machine and just make a big mess. So I avoid those at all costs. I try to just use just detergent alone. And same thing goes for dryer sheets. Dryer sheets can clog up your lint screen as well. I mean, it can leave a thick film of gunk and stuff, because that's what fabric softener is. It's a thick, fatty type of consistency. I mean, if you feel a dryer sheet, it's like waxy, you know? So, now I'm not saying you can't use these things, but I'm just saying be very sparing and try to keep your machines clean. Now, if there is a waxy film, you can take this to the sink, wash it with some soapy water, scrub it with a brush really good, give it a good rinse. It should be good to go. This is absolutely washable. You can wash it. It's just plastic and metal. So, but that is just one thing that I try to avoid is fabric softeners and stuff as much as possible. I will use a dryer sheet occasionally if I have a load that has extra static, like in the winter time or something. But overall, I try not to. And if you are trying to use dryer sheets for the scent, I would honestly recommend that you upgrade your laundry detergent to something with a stronger scent. Because if you're all about scent and stuff, if you use a higher quality laundry detergent like Gain or anything like that, if scent is your thing, then the detergent alone is going to be enough, and you won't even need dryer sheets. I mean, so that's just some tips for you to keep your machine clean and to keep it, problem free for as long as possible. So, but yeah, overall, I am pretty happy with this machine. Other than that slight fluke hiccup, thankfully it was under warranty. It was the lid lock, and the guy had to replace this piece in here. Now, honestly, you could just unscrew this, take this off, and stick it in here and bypass this lid lock. Because, yeah, it only locks when it's in the spin cycle, so that's the good thing. But it's still annoying. I mean, come on, are we trying to protect ourselves from something so simple? Because I mean, let's be realistic. If you are that dumb to stick your hand in here when it's spinning and you know it's spinning, well, I'm sorry, but that's your own darn fault. You have nobody to blame but yourself. That was stupid. You knew it was spinning. You knew it hadn't come to a complete stop. You put your hand in here and you injure yourself. Well, that's your own fault. Nobody wants to take responsibility anymore. They always want to sue everybody. So, just common sense, people. Common sense. One thing that I will say that I'm not too happy about, and this is minor, but the trim for this lid latch has already cracked here. Not too happy about that, considering it's only 2 years old. But otherwise, cosmetically and physically, everything else is held up pretty well. But this little piece here cracking, not impressed. I mean, things should not be breaking off, at 2 years old or even 5 years. I mean, I think that you should be able to get the full 10, 15, 20 years out of a washing machine. And I know that's pushing it these days, but I mean, seriously, this is a major purchase. You should be able to get the full 10, 15, 20 years out of a washing machine. I mean, maybe longer. but I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't hold my breath on it, but I mean, I'm just saying bare minimum 10 years, you know? So, anyway, that is an update on this GE top-load washing machine. Yeah, I mean, overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, yeah, it's not perfect. No machine is going to be perfect. But I think for the money, definitely cannot go wrong. I think the other great option is a Speed Queen washing machine, which is outrageously expensive. I mean, you're looking at $1,200. And let's face it, not everybody has $1,200 to put towards a washing machine. So I think this is your next best option. Um, and so, yeah, I definitely recommend it. Um, like I said, just be sparing on the detergent and the softener and stuff, and you should be good. And obviously, don't overload it. Don't just cram stuff in here. I know it looks like a really big tub, but don't just keep shoving and shoving and shoving. I mean, because in reality, the water only gets up to about here. So, and it needs room to move the clothes around. I mean, you can't just shove everything in there. Um, it's not good. So, clothes won't get clean, and quite frankly, it'll just bog down your machine, put more wear and tear on your machine, and possibly break something. So you don't want to do that. So anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos.